All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers, and what a day to say the least. All right, when you're pushing double-digit days, it is hard to do anything but smile, right? So I am excited to talk about a little bit of disagreement that came up on my last video, and I always say it, if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments, all right? I'm not going to hate on your thoughts. I'm not going to bash on your thoughts. I'm hoping to have a really good, educated conversation, and lo and behold, I was wrong, all right? And yeah, I love it. I'm telling you, both sides learn, and it's a beautiful thing, right? So, awesome stuff on SoundHound, right? It's funny, I am excited to talk about Rumble. I know the TikTok news is a big thing, but the last time I covered Rumble, my main comment was, as long as we hold the 200 moving average, it's good to go. It is still bullish, and look, I know it's a lot more horizontal. I know it looks a little more, obviously that's down, not up, right? But we never lost the line. And I know we dipped a little under, but never confirmed. Beautiful, beautiful thing to see here, right? And news only helped it even more, right? So if I have time, I might want to cover ICU as well. I think ICU is an interesting one to check out. But before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We're going to take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There's a bunch of them, but there are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online, comment, like I said, comment good or bad if you disagree. Beautiful things happen when people disagree, you know what I mean? Respectfully, right? But more than anything, hey, if you can share this thing, it does wonders with the algorithms, all right? So you can tell I'm excited. I can't even like hold it in and pretend, right? This is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So the last video I made, I believe, was on Friday, or at least after the Friday candle. I don't think I made one yesterday. My hesitation, right? And again, you know, if you watch my videos, I go over me being wrong a lot more than me being right? So I was wrong, right? As I click in this box, you can see it. So the average 8 was at $5.86. That's actually the second green number down there, right? Kind of in the middle of that first box. That day closes exactly on the number. 586 is the same green number, right? The close and the average 8. Since we were below the day before and we were on it the day of or the day after, right? That wasn't a break for me, right? I kind of make the joke that, like, if you're outside and it's freezing, if you're just standing out the door, it's the same thing as being outside. You know what I mean? So it wasn't a good enough break for me. Okay. Monday was a real interesting doji. It unfortunately, if you look again, Monday missed $5.98. It missed $6 by 2 pennies. All right. Now it obviously was over the 8 moving average, right? So the comment again still kind of held and you know what? Let me even take a step back. I actually legitimately thought Monday was going to be a red day. That's also an honest thing too. I wasn't 100% sold. Not only was that, I actually kind of thought we were going to be heading down. So I was really surprised to see the green day. I was a little sad to see the 2 cent miss on 6. But Monday overall was an important day. Why? It's because of that. That is a doji, right? You know, if you watch my videos, the only candle I respect today is the doji. The cool thing is, on the Discord, I'm starting to learn a couple things. Hammer candle is supposed to be good. There's a couple people that are like learning and sharing, right? Which is a great thing. But the doji is uncertainty, all right? In a 7-hour full trading day, this thing opens down here at 580 something, goes all the way up to here, falls all the way down there, and then basically just closes a couple pennies above, 10 pennies. Like, come on. That is, how are you not going to make a decision in a 7-hour day, right? The doji screams it. And generally, a rule of mine is when you get a doji on an important line, the day after is real important. And you know what? This was a beautiful day after. First and foremost, we open, right? You can see it. We open at 616 above my $6 line and above this, right? The low of the day was 588, all right? I was actually sleeping at the time, so I completely missed it, right? But I think that might have scared me and whatnot. But look, once we were able to basically clear this isn't even a good big candle, right? But once we were able to just, I don't even think this was the line. I think it was just well enough above 6, you know what I mean? Let's go into the 15-minute. Let's just see what it looked like. So again, this was the full day. Today's the 9th, right? So that first open is down. Yeah, I mean, the first, like, you can again, 8 in the 20, right? Doesn't matter the time frame. You just bounce and never give up, right? So, yeah, interesting. Man, I mean, it's again, kind of hard to get the words out right now, right? I do believe this is setting up for more. All right, that's really what matters, right? I think that for a couple reasons, right? Volume's been, not this or this, right? Not even these. All of these days, both of these days were over 100 million. These started to make it like close to, but not enough. And you can see this is actually the best of them, it looks like, right? What was this day? This volume was 86 million. This volume was obviously less, and today it was 90, right? So we're getting a little closer to that 100 line. We're getting a little closer to this level of volume being these 2 days. We know it has the ability to surpass 100 and go from there, right? I think if algorithms, if funds, if whatever the word is, believes that we are breaking all the moving averages and going, I think that should be it. Listen, we still have not had 2 consecutive green candles that are good in a row, all right? Those 2 right there are not 2 good candles. This is a green filled in is not as good as a green open in my book, all right? Obviously doji, and that doesn't count. I'm hoping tomorrow is our second good candle. I'm hoping we actually go for and break the 770 line. Sorry, 780 line. I would like us to start kissing 8 because again, and we talked about it on the Discord, there is nothing but red, a crazy gap, red, whole mess of, this could be an amazing channel if we get into it. If we can break 780, it really could, you can argue that that's a line right there around, what is that, 860? You can see the close right here was like 857, but yeah, I don't think that's gonna do it. I think that's a much bigger candle. If we can get over that, oh man, it should be a real nice ride to that. All right, I think the last thing I want to say, I mentioned it on the weekend video, I think on the opener, but I didn't go into depth in it. But I just want to say this: there have been a lot of news articles after the hype of the Nvidia share buy fizzled, and that alone surprises me, right? They themselves, SoundHound, dropped a press that basically said, we think that demand is higher. I touched on that on the last video. Others, I saw one today that basically said this one has a shot at gaining another 50%. This stock was in that list, right? And again, do I believe that list? Absolutely not. That has no influence at all on what I do and stuff like that. But new, fresh headlines, new, good headlines with ridiculous 50% numbers after we've seen so much already, right? I know a lot of people in the comments keep saying this thing is not worth $7. This thing was only $2 not that long ago. It's already pushing 3x, almost 4x. We are not, we as me, right? Like we as, people that do this TA thing that I do. I'm not here to justify. I'm here to ride the lines, ride the momentum, ride the volume. Once the lines tell me it's over, it's over. But the last thing I care about is if this thing's worth this much or not. All right. Believe me, that has the least amount of influence on me. All right. To the longs and strongs, I keep saying I'm shocked at how many longs watch my video. I'm a little degenerate gambler who swings, right? But yeah, I love giving my honest opinions. I love getting all the comments back. I still am not really focusing on the weekly chart much. I mean, first and foremost, there's not much to look at, right? Like we are over all the moving averages. This thing has still not been trading for 100 weeks. You can see I only have an 8, a 20, and a 50, right? So this thing is not that old a stock, and all we're doing is, I mean, riding what is essentially red, 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 red to green, 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 green so far, right? So, yeah, let's keep going. I think the 770 is probably going to be a big wall. I think so, but oh my goodness. The RSI is still low enough and it was living really high. MACD just cooled, kept going, never fell negative. Again, if we can start getting to this level volume, my next expectation will be go to this one, then this one, then this one, right? Like give me, I don't need that. Like that is like, I am cool with something like that. Like that would be real nice over the next couple days. Boom, boom, boom. That'll break that and go. Soundhound. Amazing. All right. And the last thing I'm here to do is care if it's actually worth it or not. This thing is saying it wants more, right? We still need confirmation. You know I'm excited, but I'm always here to talk about both sides of the coin. There has not been two good green candles since we broke the 200. This actually could still maybe come into this 516 range. I still think that's a little bit of a possibility. When these two meet, it could be a real violent bounce up or a real violent bounce down. Hey, they might never even do that if it continues going up, right? But again, got to talk about both sides of the coin. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's open. I see it going up a little bit. You know that means nothing to me. It's not significant enough. Beautiful, beautiful day. All right. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Even if you disagree, let's take a look at Rumble. All right. So hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe, if you can please share this video, it's so much appreciated and it does wonders for these algorithms. All right. So Rumble, listen, I've been covering this with the Trump stocks, right? With Fun and DWAC. I have, however, maintained the caveat that Rumble keeps doing well even without the Trump news. All right. Fun could not say the same thing. DWAC could not say the same thing. Rumble, I felt like, and really continues to do so. All right. From there, the other big thing I talked about was this 200 moving average line. All right, I'm going to zoom out really quickly, but this is the last one for a reason. All right, I did not wake up one day and was like, oh, this is a good one to put as like, this is a textbook. This is like fundamental is the worst word to use with technical analysis, right? But this is the fundamental technical analysis, the last MA, you know what I mean? So 200 is a big one. And as I zoom out and I zoom out and I zoom out, I mean, look at this. I zoomed in on the last video right here. You can basically see it. Look, those two were the only two good green candles in a row. Otherwise, everything else was basically red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green with like a big one and a not good enough one right there. So like this moment doesn't count. This moment, basically the same thoughts, one interesting set, but pretty much just red, green. We have never on Rumble smashed the 200, and my favorite rhyme of my videos, I love it more than red, 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 red to green, green, green. I actually really do. You break all five and you fly. All right, that's how I use moving averages, and this thing has gotten over and gone really far up. You can argue that that's flying, but I am not a pump and dump trader. I'm here for sustained flight, right? Like a hawk, baby. Just go off and go and never come down till you're hungry and then go back up after you've eaten, right? That was a bad analogy, but you get it. This is a difficult line, but we have not lost the line since we've basically gained it right here. Now, again, that's not the best string of three, right? Obviously, it's three good ones, and then there's this 8-11 line that I'll talk about shortly, right? But we're over it, and all of a sudden, we're basically bouncing. We're basically bouncing, you know what I mean? And yeah, we fall a day under, but we don't confirm, and we get back up, and lo and behold, right? Yeah, we get a little bit under, but we don't confirm, and we kind of hold, right? So nothing back-to-back, nothing confirmed. This 200 never became the enemy it could have been. Instead, it said, just wait. Let's just wait. Let's just wait. Today's news hit. So what's today's news? Something about them trying to basically acquire TikTok. So TikTok might get banned. Hey, if Rumble owns it instead of the Chinese government affiliation or whatever it is, I'm ignorant. I don't really know, but I know it has something to do with China. If Rumble owns it, maybe it won't get shut down, right? And this and that. So I think it's a really interesting thing. Obviously, it helps Rumble's arm in this social media race, right? Like, there's interesting things that could happen here, right? And obviously, TikTok is huge, right? So it's a extremely interesting platform to even remotely be considered, as these people might own it one day, right? So there's a lot that comes with it. And to me, regardless if it happens or not, that could be enough. That could be enough. I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back. That could be enough to escape all these lines, to break this 811 line and to go. All right, I'm going to zoom out a little bit, right? So this 811 line, look, this isn't a stock that's been around for a really long time, and you can see there aren't a lot of equal volume moments, all right? Just this is obviously a very zoomed out view, but basically can't see anything, basically can't see anything. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Basically can't see anything, little sprinkles. I can see some more. Can't see anything, little sprinkles, can't see anything. I can definitely see a little more here, but like, you get it, right? There are inconsistent moments throughout the whole life of this. And within that mix, this 811 line has been at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, as of today, 11 important points in this stock's life. That's an important line, all right? I'm not going to say that's more important than these 5. And obviously, if you look, and if you watch my videos, you're like, this is not a perfect line. The real line might be 810, it might be 815, might be 8, it might be off. You know what I mean? Like, this is good enough to be good enough. And hell yeah, that's money in the bank, believe me, all right? Good enough is good. If we can get over that, I think that's going to help us propel. I think if we break this bottom line, which is the 811, it'll propel us through the middle and take us to the top. I do, all right? I think that's going to be a difficult line, but again, if this might buy the biggest social media platform in the world today, arguably, right? I don't have the data behind that. That could be enough to bring some people. And again, we know that this stock can get volume when the interest is there, right? So gotta love the RSI. MACD never fell positive. It might do the same divergence. Let's see if volume can match or break tomorrow, right? I would actually love it to go a little bit higher into this 20 million. But hey, today's, this is basically 12 million on the day I'm clicking right here. We were at 11 million, right? So we are matching these volumes that we've hit before. Let's start peaking up a little bit and maybe go a little more. Rumble, I like the news. I like the news. I like the candle over the moving averages. I like the setup for 811. That's basically what I wanted to say. Let me go to the weekly really quickly. What number are you? 847. I would put a little bit more weight on 847 than my 811. And hey, maybe that's basically saying these two lines are going to average out to what's roughly in the middle of the two of them, right? Not exact, but you get it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Really quickly, I want to flash ICU. I think ICU has a shot. It made a really good run. There was some news the market didn't really like too well. Lo and behold, the moving averages hold and are bringing it back up, right? We're sitting over all VMAs. This could be an interesting setup, and you can see volume's been rising actually pretty nicely right there. The other one I want to flash is Grindr. All right, this is Tiga Acquisitions. Please no homosexual, homophobic, comments, stuff like that, right? Like, we're a classy bunch of people here. We all are, all right? So why is this important and why is this on my radar? This is a SPAC stock. SPAC stock is Special Acquisitions Company. The $10 line is a very, very important and a very, very magic line. I've mentioned this on the Discord a couple days ago. We've been riding the last couple days. I don't know who else has been. I'll tell you, I still am in this. Just because I'm in this doesn't mean you should get it. Believe me, I'm wrong more than I am right. I'm not one of those people that say I'm 80%. Dude, I'm probably hitting 30%, 40% maybe, all right? But I hit them well when they come, you know what I mean? And I don't hit them that poorly when I miss, okay? But if we can break 11 and actually on this candle right here, the next one, this one, you can see the open right here is 1041. I think if we start creeping into that 1041, if we start getting into, oh no, sorry, this one. So those are the two. This one is 1104. That one's 1041. I mentioned 11. I should zoom in more and you guys can see it, but you get it. It's okay. I'm just kind of flashing these quickly. They're both interesting setups. I'm hitting 20 minutes. I appreciate you all so much.